Hello pilots and welcome back to Season 1 of Out of Arc Gaming's Flight Academy. Today we have Game 21 of this round-robin single-ship tournament. As ever, the format rules are in the description below, but once again for this matchup, and he's also on the screen as well, I am joined by...
It's Quinn, and the whole, watching myself is kind of odd, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Oh, I hope you get used to it quite quickly, but yes, welcome back, Quinn. We do actually have one of your games on here. Kanan Jarrus, the hero of Flight Academy, the absolute lad who just turned up and was surprisingly good. So it's going to be interesting to see how you handle a very, very maneuverable opponent. But whilst we get into that, did you want to quickly run through what you are flying for us?
So I'm flying Kanan Jarrus in the Hawk with predictive shot because it was 1 point, so it fills out the points. Maul for that extra force, shield upgrade, and the Moldy Crow because it is arguably the best card in the game.
I mean, yeah, it's insane to give you that extra, that forward arc 3 dice attack and then stacking focuses.
Oh yeah, it's 16 points for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think, don't hate me for this anymore, but I think 16 points is really reasonable for that. I mean,
I agree, absolutely. Because stacking focuses alone is powerful, never mind an extra weapon.
Yeah. But coming up against you, we have Fraser, and he is running Echo in the TIE Phantom, my favourite ship, with Duke, passive sensors, and Fifth Brother. And I think that Fraser has a great set of upgrades on there, with passive sensors giving him the ability to actually get a target lock, and Fifth Brother, it gives him access to a force and the ability to change to a crit using it if he hasn't had to use it on defense or anything. I think that's a really clever little set of upgrades there.
Yes, and then I've got to try and remember how cloaking works because that's an incredibly irritating mechanic when you can just do it for free.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see cloaking very often. Obviously, it's now expanded to more ships. But generally, the Phantom is the only ship that is known for it. I mean, you've got the illicit cloaking device, which I don't think anyone ever takes, or at least I've never seen it.
I've used it twice, obviously, because, I've used most things.
Yeah. Obviously, the Scimitar has a cloak as well, but again, I don't think anyone takes the Scimitar because it can cloak. And you can cloak the TIE Whisper if you give it.
And the Silencer. They both got the tech upgrade sensor scramblers. That might be the epic one. I can't remember, but yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But that's so many caveats to using that it's just not really. I'm not entirely sure it's worth it.
Yeah, it is a really oddly worded one that doesn't quite make as much sense as you'd like. But you know what? The TIE Phantom, it has its trick in its cloaking. It does it really well. And it's a great looking ship, and I know you love it, Quinn, don't worry.
Oh yes, I definitely am not traumatized from flying against 3 of them in 3 K-Wings or anything. Throwback to that game a very long time ago.
Yeah. We need to do our 3. We need to do 3 K-Wings versus 3 K-Wings at some point. We've each flown triple K-Wings against each other, but we've never actually flown both lists at each other.
I would happily take you on 3 K-Wings to 3 K-Wings, though I'd hope that the lists weren't too similar given the lack of pilots available to us.
True, there is that. But yeah, we'll have to try and set that up. I reckon that would be good fun, actually.
Yes, I'm definitely down for that.
But it looks like we've got Echo running a bit of a dance, really looking like he wants to get behind you there.
Yes, I have to say, the decloaking mechanic, especially with those bendy ones, is good in this type of format. Because the unknowableness, where it's going to be is incredibly irritating.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable. With that decloak, there's 6 base positions that it can get to.
The free evade for either evading, recloaking, or duking. It's just not pleasant.
At least you're not coming up against Whisper, who, when she actually scores a hit, gets another evade.
That would be irritating.
Yeah, almost guaranteed to be able to cloak unless is incredibly unfortunate. But that is a nice train of focuses you've got there behind you.
I mean, that's what the Moldy Crow is for. Just stack up those focuses. Like, oh no, I have to use a focus or a force. I think I have multiples of both.
I mean, it really works in this sense as well. So you're wanting to ideally save your force to make your opponent shoot one less dice. So having all that focus there, it's really good measure to saving that force for you there, isn't it?
Yes, I feel like I forgot for a couple of shots in this game, like this one, for example, to actually do the whole, point of this ship.
Yeah.
But hey, I had an infinite number of focuses. I was not concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there's one spent, well, juking, but spending it to get them all anyway.
Yeah, like that. Oh no, I've only got 2 focuses left. What a shame.
I mean, that's absolutely insane.
And I really appreciate the paint job on the Scum Hawk. Like, the black is just...
It's so nice.
For such a simple paint job, it just looks the business.
I mean, a black ship in space makes a lot of sense. So, it is cool. And I really like it. I think it looks great. Ooh, Fraser now has a choice here.
Take the damage or don't cloak don't cloak at the end of the turn.
So, looks like he had to do both.
What a shame for him.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It definitely makes it a bit more predictable for you as to where he's going. But then again, you've done your
signature stop.
Yeah, the signature stop there.
I do enjoy the stop because people don't expect to stop on a small ship, and every time I do it, people go, "I didn't know the Hawk could do a stop." I'm like, well, you do now.
We have also seen you use the threat of a stop to good effect as well.
Oh yeah, once they know, then it just becomes psychological, doesn't it? It's like, am I going to stop because I don't need an action because I've got all these focuses and forces, or am I going to do something else?
Yeah, it's really clever, and I really like it.
And with that mobile arc as well, I can keep eyes on people, regardless of where they are. For considering when I normally fly the Hawk, the mobile arc is only to use the pilot ability to keep someone else in my arc. I've used the mobile arc a lot over these few games.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any other pilots to worry about except your opponents, so you can concentrate more on trying to keep them in arc, which is really nice. And again, I think it really exemplifies how much the Hawk doesn't have to be just a support ship, and it can actually be a lot stronger.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of pilots and their aggressiveness, there's only really 2 aggressive pilots, and they're both Scum. One being Palob with his ability to steal tokens, and the other one being Torkel with his ability to suppress someone to 0, which also would have been quite fun in this, actually, with all the I6s floating around.
Yeah.
But not quite as useful as 2 Force.
No, I think, again, the pilots that have had the Force have had a bit of an advantage because it's given them that extra little step there with that modification that they've got essentially saved in the bank. So it's been quite handy.
I mean, they have that advantage anyway in a normal game, but in this, I guess it's kind of not exemplified, made more noticeable.
Yeah.
But yes, I do enjoy flying Kanan, especially in this format, because his ability is just hilarious when you actually think about it. Just like, oh, you're shooting me or a friend. How about you have less dice regardless of where you are? I don't even have to be looking at you, which I find annoys a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think what's quite interesting here is where you've been able to use that mobile arc actually as a second gun rather than having to point it at someone you want to protect. I mean, in this game, it's almost caused Fraser to have to stay cloaked more often than not.
Yes, considering it's only a 2 dice attack, but when you've only got 5 hit points to start with, it could, or 3 dice in the case of a range 1, as Fraser is setting up.
That is a nicely manoeuvred hard too there.
I mean, I kept the stress as a result, but sometimes stresses are worth it.
Yeah. But I think this is probably the best set of shots we've seen in the game so far.
Also, Fraser's nice and next to that debris cloud. It'd be a shame if he were to go over.
It is going to make it difficult. I mean, he can obviously decloak out of that quite easily.
Unless I force him to spend that evade.
Yeah. And there's the fifth brother spending.
And
no good. Using your force to bring it back, so that's 2 shields down for you.
Oh well, I'm still standing, as the great philosopher Elton John once said.
But this could be quite an interesting attack. It's a shame it's not in your front arc, so it's not 4 dice, but 3 dice is still going to be good. Can you indeed force the spendage of that evade?
I mean, it's 3v2, so one would hope so.
Using your plethora of... Ooh.
Now he has to make the choice because he doesn't want to go over that rock.
Yeah, and this is the second time you've actually forced that choice on Fraser as well. That's a tough one.
Damage all the way.
I mean, because he's taking 1 damage regardless. This is the difference between half points, and so there's the shield. Looks like he's taken it. He's kept it because he needs to not go over that rock. Rock, the brick cloud. Which is a shame because it would have been funnier. I mean, he definitely doesn't want to stress himself, it's a tough one, but I think it's the right decision.
I mean, if you're him, yes. If you're me, no. He should have just.
Yeah, I mean, for you, you'd want him just to take take it.
Well, we're getting it independently adjudicated to make sure he does make it, which unfortunately he does.
It was so close, though. It's ridiculously close. But again, this is where having that bendy barrel roll or bendy decloak is going to be quite handy.
Yes, like in the Star Viper, where you can just barrel roll over the place. I love that ship. I need to fly it more often.
I'm just a little bit disappointed we didn't see a Star Viper in here, because I would have loved to have seen a Star Viper like Guri versus Echo, because I think that would have been hilarious.
I'm not sure if it's just me, but the loss of the sensor slot has made it less attractive to me. Like, tech's great, but I would say sensor is better.
I think sensor has a bit more to it that's useful there.
Like, advanced sensors with bendy barrel rolls lead to some hilarious setups.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Although red maneuvers followed by bendy barrel rolls could also be quite interesting. Yeah. I need to break out the Star Vipers.
Anyway, we've got no shots coming here, so whilst we're waiting for them to set their dials and get back into the action, don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon with the link in the description below. If you decide to go for our top tier, you can actually choose what ships we have to fly on the channel, and we will then endeavour to get that up as soon as possible once you've made your decision. The link is in the description below.
What's the worst combination of ships you could think of to fly in a standard game? Like, what would you hate to fly?
I don't actually know on that one. To
like
be honest.
8 ties, but I don't think 8 ties would get you to 200 points.
You can get 8 ties to 200 points, because obviously you'd have to use some named pilots or just chuck on some mods on there. I mean, I probably wouldn't enjoy flying 8 TIE fighters, because although I can fly in a small formation, I can't fly in big formations. Anything more than 4 ships and I struggle.
I have that exact same problem, although mine's like 3 ships.
Yeah, so, I mean, a swarm of ties would be quite challenging, but there's so many weird combinations that you could put out there.
Yeah. 8 Sheathopedes, I think, would be hilarious. But you can't do 8 Sheathopedes, there's no generic. There's only 4 Sheathopedes.
I mean, could you fit 4 Sheathopedes and 4 attack shuttles in there?
I don't think so, because the good ones get quite expensive, like Fen and Hera.
Yeah, it'll be funny. Ooh, but we are getting very close now to time. Can either of you get that final shot in you need to take the other out?
I don't think that's in range.
But he's still got to move.
Okay, now it's definitely in range.
Now it's in range. That is definitely in range.
Yes, good thing I did the old rotate, really.
Yep. And Fraser has all the mods there. Focus, target lock. He's still got Fifth Brother, and he's got the evade for Duke, so
he does have one less attack dice, which comes in clutch very often, like now.
Ooh, that's definite target lock. Now, I don't think you can spend Fifth Brother to change that. You can only change for a focus.
Is that my last shield? That is my last.
That is your last shield, so that is half points across the board.
Oh, time to do some... Well, I won't do any damage back, will I, with those two mods, but hey.
Yeah, focus and evade. Well, double evade there. So, with this, because obviously where the points are so close now, being 37-38, we did do final salvo. And you pipped it, by the look of it.
That was a draw.
Oh, that was a draw, indeed.
And now I've lost.
No, you got the crit in there.
Oh, I won.
So you did win that one on final salvo.
That's a pleasant surprise, but I mean, yeah.
It's very tricky. I mean, again, it's just gone to show again how powerful that hawk is. But I mean, it was just there was some unlucky questions asked early of Fraser as to spend that evade or not, which was a bit of a shame, which is where the Phantom does become a bit of a glass cannon, unfortunately. But still a great ship.
I mean, it survived, so it didn't go down in like a blaze of glory, but it did go down.
Absolutely. But another great game there, so thank you very much for joining us for that, Quinn.
It's been a pleasure, as ever.
And guys, don't forget, if you do enjoy what we're doing, the link is in the description below for the Patreon. Make sure you click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.